The following is a production of KTCA, a Minnesota original.
Warning. The following program contains material which some viewers may find offensive. Well, that's your problem. But the real problem which this show attempts to examine is of serious concern to literally dozens. Total and consuming obsession with a television celebrity. Actually, we've only come across one person afflicted by this deadly syndrome, but God was he pushy. What follows is his story. This television station is completely irresponsible for the content of this program and produced it solely in order to get this guy off our backs.
Oh, Mary Tyler Moore? Oh, that woman could turn the world on with her legs. Smile.
Who can turn the world on with her smile?
You can have the town, why don't you take it? I really like that attitude.
Well, it's you, girl, and you should know it. With each glance and every little movement you show it.
She's the kind of woman who can take a nothing day and make it all worthwhile. Man, who needs it?
You're gonna make it after all. You're gonna make it after all.
What's wrong, Mary? You seem upset. Mr. Grant, you took 3 servings of the veal. Yeah? Mr. Grant, there are 6 people. You took half. You mean that that's all there is, what's on this platter? Yes. Mr. Grant, you've got to put some back.
If you're like me, you've probably seen these shots hundreds of times. You've taken out-of-town visitors to the places where they were filmed. Maybe you visited them alone yourself in a moment of private reverence. But it's these opening moments, what we Mary experts call the frames of the gospel, that anchor this show so clearly to this town. Look, see Mary in an undisputably Minneapolis elevator, clutching a real Minneapolis newspaper. Look, there's Mary crossing the Nicollet Mall, ideally to a better clothing store. Wait a minute, freeze that, hold it. See, her feet do not touch the ground. Proof that she is the saint we know she is. See her stride perkily along our very own lakes. With those legs, she could do Lake of the Isles in 10 minutes flat. Look, there's Mary wearing the numbers of Fran Tarkington, like a real, true Minnesota woman, all of whom love football. Behold, she shops at IDS, just like the rest of us.
The opening credits were shot here in Minneapolis, and we're going to go back to those locations, because you can learn so much from those spots, so much about the town, so much about Mary. So, we're going to be going to the spot where she stood and tossed her hat. We're going to be going to the building where she worked, the house where she lived, and, if we're lucky, we're going to figure out the identity of that mystery woman who stood behind her, you know, with a foul look while Mary stood and threw her hat. I mean, what was that woman's problem? I mean, if I was there, I'd stand next to Mary, not over there, and I wouldn't be looking like that. I'd be, try to hope that she brought her arm down and maybe it hit me or something, or pick up the hat if she dropped it. I wouldn't be scowling like some creature with webbing on my hair, an inverted triangle for a face. I mean, what a pinched, awful, humorless life she must have led. There are questions that I want to get out there right away and start to figure out things that have been plaguing me for for a large portion of my life. Like women in this town, when, if you actually meet one of them, you actually go out on a date, they say they like Mary. They say Mary's a role model, but let's say, if you actually get one of them to even sit down with you at lunch and you talk about Mary the whole time, they act like you're crazy when you're not. And we'll be talking to people who are nothing like Mary at all, like my mother. I mean, if you want to find somebody who's nothing like Mary, I mean nothing at all, it'd be my mother. So we'll be doing those Mary things and talking to people about Mary and going places.
Is that okay? Before the search officially began, I did a sort of screen test with the TV crew.
Sorry, Jim. The best take I've ever seen.
I guess they were pretty impressed with my on-camera professionalism, and they certainly met my expectations of being everything that a television crew ought to be.
James, you were great. You were really, really great. Now, that's okay.
Thus assured, the Channel 2 crew and I headed to Mary's house. The house, as any Minneapolis resident worth his salt knows, is just a stone's throw from Lake of the Isles. You can't miss it.
There! That's it! That's it!
Who can turn the world on with her smile?
Oh, that's the house we stopped for directions.
Oh, okay. Okay, go up real fast and then take a left. Speed up, take
A left, says the man with a merry dowsing rod. Em, breadcrumbs, you got any?
No, I don't
Won't get lost in Kenwood that way.
No, Johnny, croissant. Croissant
Yeah,
crumbs.
all right,
There's
Come
no
on.
time to eat. There, that's it.
You can take a nothing day and suddenly make it all seem worthwhile.
Oh, no, sorry.
Well, if they put a balcony on it and painted it white or something. Is there a school around here somewhere? Because, at the end of the credits, at one point, she was leading some kids across the street and she had...
It doesn't mean that they shot the scene by our house.
Okay. There! That's it!
Oh, no!
It is gone, then, this link to the past, this anchor to the world that once was. A telling comment, perhaps, on a city so obsessed with the lure of the new that it has no time for its own past. Or perhaps it is around here somewhere, inscrutable behind a hedge. That in itself a sign of that Scandinavian need for privacy, that continual shielding of the self from the prying eyes of the public. So the house is gone, lives only in memories. What if... what if it were to suddenly reappear? Let's got it.
Hey, Fudge! Oh, it's $5. Oh, my God.
$5? What are you putting new shingles in the thing? Are we paying for your siding? I don't have $5. Anybody got $5? Thank you. Excuse me. Public television. Excuse me. I love what they have done with this place. I mean, it's a little more spacious, I think, granted, than we all would have thought it was going to be. But the essential tidiness of Mary is here. The cleanliness, the Spartan decor, the certain lack of unnecessary accoutramental detail, I think, lends a certain era of clean merriness to it that you otherwise would not have gotten if there had not been... I think we got the place to ourselves. Somewhere around here is Mary's basement. We never saw the basement in the show. We're going to find it. We got to find out what was downstairs. If I can just find the door clearly marked, basement. Come on. It's handy.